Alrighty, now that the chaos is done, I got the bucket put on, snow pusher taken off, and we're gonna go right back to grading this area here. It's about 49 degrees today on December 12th or 13th, one of the two today, and everything here kind of thawed out nicely, so I'm hoping that I can take some bigger swaths of gravel out today instead of just kind of fighting the frost layer. But I'm gonna start off, drop here, pull some of this where it's high. Oh yeah, she's got a lot more, look at that, a lot more give tonight than she did the other day, so that's good. We're gonna go pull back a few good strips here. We're also trying a different camera angle today than we did before, so I'm curious to see what you guys think of it. If you guys prefer being up here looking down at the bucket, or if you kind of prefer to be back there, you know, just about over my shoulder. Kind of see a little bit more what I'm doing as the operator as opposed to just seeing the equipment work. So please let me know in the comments what you prefer. I really don't have a preference, so I know sometimes if you're looking there might be a little bit of a glare that will make it hard for you to see what's happening, but I'm not sure if that affects it much, so we'll see. Alright, we'll continue on now. Sorry about that. Get up close to these cables here. I don't want to get too close to them and end up having the municipal utilities coming yelling at me, so we'll stay a little bit away from those. Yeah, I gotta wash my windshield. I'm noticing that. Windshield and side. It might be time for Big Johnny to have a bit of a bath. So that's gonna be on my schedule next here. It's pretty hard to see what I'm looking at down here. Let's get close. And I gotta quiet down, focus a little bit more here. That is looking better. So yeah, so what I previously did here is I went and just kind of did checkerboard across this whole area and just pulled everything back, but it was a little tough because the ground is still pretty frozen, so I'm just gonna redo that there and see if I can't pull up maybe a little bit more gravel. Get kind of a good angle there. Closer. Put her in float. Gotta go back. Still struggling a little bit. Put a little more angle on it. Yeah, it's just kind of weird because during the day things warm up so nice and the ground pretty well unfreezes, and then back at night the top layer will freeze again, you know, because it gets down into the 20s. So it's kind of this freeze thaw cycle that the only time that I can really do this work at the moment is later in the afternoon after the sun has had a day to bake it down. So here we go. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna redo everything, put kind of an aggressive angle again on my blade, on my bucket, and then we're just gonna pull back one way, and then we're gonna pull back the other way once I get this done. But I'm struggling. Just about ready to bite the bullet and buy a blade, or you know, whether it's a rear blade or a box blade, or even heck, even a land plane would be kind of nice, because this bucket really just doesn't do the job that I would like it to do in ripping stuff up. And I think having scarifiers going in and breaking some of this hard pack, because as you'll see right over as we're getting closer to it, there's just so many ruts that are just years. I mean, they haven't done this lot here. I believe it's been, I want to say it's been about 7 years since they've put anything else down on this gravel area. They paved, you know, put asphalt down right here, that's my shop there. So they put asphalt down in this area, but left this gravel. The old, or not the old, but the owner used to have a four-wheeler with a box blade, and that's what he used to grade it out. But he ended up getting rid of it, and they just didn't ever hire anybody or have someone come to fix it, and so it's just been a mess. I mean, over as you're entering in, you drive in here and go out there, and over on this gravel entrance, it is killer. Especially, I mean, with my 3/4 ton shocks not giving any give to me, it just bounces you around like crazy. So this was one of the first things that I wanted to do after I became one of their tenants. And you know, I've only been in this shop here for about a month, but obviously with as much coming and going as I do here, it's kind of frustrating every time you come in there, especially after a bad day. You got a bad day and you come in and you're bouncing around like crazy as you're getting in. That's the last thing that you want to happen as you're finishing up a long day of work. So now that I've got some time and the snow isn't falling yet and the ground's still not frozen crazy enough, I figured, well, what the heck, let's give her a try. Let's loosen some stuff up. You know, it's definitely not going to be perfect until next spring. I'm finding that in order to have that perfect grade, I smoothed it out a little bit, but I definitely need a blade of some sort. So I'm talking to one of my buddies down an hour south, and I may end up renting his rear blade, and that may come in handy. But I'm really tempted to look at a box blade or a land plane to really get some of these ruts pulled up and worked out. So I'm just taking her easy now. Don't have a whole lot else to do on these days. I'm kind of bored, so there's nothing better than being able to get in the tractor and make a few videos for you guys, and you know, keep me busy for an hour or two, as I wouldn't be doing a whole lot else. I've already finished up most of my books for the year, and now it's more or less a matter of waiting for snow to fly so I can move some snow, because of course I spent $4,000 on my HLA snow pusher this year too, brand new, and I barely have gotten to use it, just on a small half-inch snowfall here at the beginning, or at the end of November, sorry. So I'm just kind of itching to use that and put some more hours on the tractor in the snow. Here I've got this nice Norman snowblower behind me, and got my nice snow pusher. I've spent plenty of money and I can't even see a flurry of snow. So it's a little bit frustrating, but again, if I can do this job, for example, at least something to keep me busy, is beneficial for my own sanity. So pair that with 2 hours a day of working out, you know, getting my body back in shape for next season. It's about all I can do in a day. So I'll just be quiet here for a little while and let you guys enjoy watching me work, turn up the rest of this hard pack. So be quiet, and maybe I'll even throw a little time lapse in here for you. you guys can see now with the sun just beating hard. I'm struggling to see, but I'm gonna turn around and do this entryway. This is the worst part of it all here. We're gonna go over each side twice, I think, or each strip twice. Just to really work in those ruts and get this hard pack kind of loosened up so I can fill those holes. Wait, rather than filling the holes as just putting loose gravel in a packed hole, I figure if I can work everything up and get everything, you know, almost pack it in as one, so that loose stuff doesn't just wash out every spring when things melt. Be careful again here. It's struggling to break some of that. It's real hard pack here. And that's where, again, I think scarifiers would be the best thing to put on this. Put those at a pretty heavy level, drop the 3-point, and just really let those take up everything, all that hard pack. There we go. That looks a little bit better now. Just got one more strip here, and then we'll use this top loose stuff to fill in those ruts. Man, this tractor is struggling to pull some of this stuff up. Let that bucket just dig in, stay in. There we go. Beautiful. So now we'll go scrape east-west here, and that should be pretty well good. Actually kind of impressed with the bucket. The other night it must have just been pretty frozen ground, but let's work this east-west and kind of get some of these holes filled in. So, and then we will judge whether that can be called project done or not, or if I do need to go and get a blade to really properly finish it. But again, I'm just hoping so long as I can kind of get things pretty well taken care of before winter, you know, at least then if things freeze at least pretty smooth, that would be fine. But let's see. Ooh, too close there. Drop that again. See, it's working up really well. I know that you guys couldn't see a whole lot the other night because we were in such a low light time situation, but I think this, you guys should be able to see pretty good what all is coming up. I would say I've worked up a good inch and a half of material, so that should be hopefully enough to be able to move around that loose stuff and fill in some of the issue areas. Just got to be careful as I'm backing in. I don't want to back into one of these outdoor outlets. Thankful I have a cutting edge on this bucket because I have gone through a good amount of it. So know, I wish I took off my snow blower. Makes it a little bit trickier when I'm getting backing into things. Okay, come on, don't hit that. There we go. Should be pretty well free and clear now. I shouldn't have to worry too much about backing into something. Getting a little bit better each pass I do, so I've only got 97 hours on this tractor, so obviously every hour I spend on this tractor seems to be quite a drastic skill operator increase as well. One thing I'm looking at though is looking at a mini excavator. I'd like to, wondering if I should trade in my little 1025 and just keep this tractor for landscaping, and you know, with those golf course turf tires I've got for it, you know, it does a pretty good job not having such a big imprint on lawns. So I'm wondering if I should just keep this as my main landscaping tractor and get rid of my 1025 and instead get a John Deere 35G or a 26G mini excavator. I think that helped me a little bit more than my 1025 has. It's funny because I love that little 1025R to death, but when I bought that in December of, you know, pretty much the end, so I'd call it right of the first part of this year, and I got this thing in March, tail end of the snow season. I thought this thing would be too big for lawns, and then I was looking around and I picked up those turf tires for, you know, just a steal of a deal. And since I put those on, I found that this tractor actually has less of an imprint than my 1025R with R4s. And so when I realized that, I hate to say it, but little Johnny, that my 1025 ended up just kind of getting put in the back of the shed. And like I said, I have 97 hours on this thing and only like 95 hours on my 1025. So I really found that I didn't, you know, once I got this tractor, I love it. You know, you got the lift capacity, and the other nice thing is with my town being so, you know, it's only about 3 square miles total of you know, from all square, so it's not very big is what I'm trying to say. And our, you know, the max speed limit we really have in town is 35 miles an hour. So with this thing going 25 mile an hour, sometimes I just hook on my dump trailer or trailer to this thing and end up taking this to a job instead of my truck. Next year, as I start looking for a guy, that might be what we end up doing though too, is I can have my truck haul dump trailer with a mini excavator, and you know, we can just drive this from job to job instead of trailering it, which again, it kind of takes away the need for my 1025R, because I can have a mini excavator, so a better version of my backhoe more or less, and as well as my tractor, which can lift, and I can figure out how to pair a mini excavator in this a little bit better than just having 2 tractors and one has a backhoe that really isn't phenomenal, you know. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys, obviously I love my tractor, I'm not going to trade this in for a skid steer, but if you guys were in my position and, you know, you had your 4052R that you're using on a daily basis, and I'm using it year-round for snow and stuff like this, you know, this job is a little too big for what I would put my 1025 on. So, you know, if you find that you're not really using your 1025 at all, would you prefer to keep 2 tractors, one with a backhoe that's very little used and your bigger one, or would you keep your bigger one and get a you know, like a mini excavator that could be used a little bit better to handle some of those, you know, more like landscape tear-outs and stuff. Get a mini excavator with a thumb, and I feel like, you know, between this tractor and that mini excavator, they'd be pretty much on every single job. Even doing rock tear-outs, I'd have so much more control in the joysticks of a mini excavator. I could throw a 30-inch grading bucket on it, and rather than hiring another guy to shovel, I figure I could just take out the rock using my mini excavator, you know. So let me know what you guys think. I think the last time I got quoted, it was about $43,000 for an open. Got a buddy who has, his dad has a 35G. I believe it's a cab model with about 800 hours. I believe it's a 2020. He wants $40,000 for it, or $45,000 for it. So that's one option. The other option is if I don't really want a cab, I got a quote from my local dealership a little while ago, and I believe it was $43,000, and that came with the thumb, no cab, and that was for a 30, maybe that was a 26. That might have been a 26G. Sorry, getting a little close here, just backing into the road. I like to see what I'm doing. That was for a 26G, so, you know, I guess that would be what, what is that? Geez, Alex. Yeah, 2.6 times 2, so 5,200 pounds or so, whereas a 35G is closer to 7,000. So what would you guys do? Would you guys go for one that's a little bit bigger, or keep it smaller, and, you know, be able to use it on maybe a few more jobs? And actually, maybe no, maybe that's not right. Maybe the 35G could, you know, I'd be surprised that maybe I'd use that on more jobs, even though it's a little bit bigger too. So please let me know. That's kind of my big question right now, is if I should trade in my 1025 backhoe, or not backhoe, machine, the tractor, loader, and backhoe for a mini excavator. You know, again, I think I'd stick to John Deere. It's just whether I'd buy my friend's dad's tractor or go to John Deere and get one new with a warranty. But it's, again, I guess another question I have is, if those of you who have run mini excavators a lot, do you find that you prefer open station or a cab? Obviously, I have a storage spot, so it's not like it'd be sitting out. None of my equipment sits out in the weather, so neither would this excavator. But that's another question. You know, like even right now, I know a lot of guys are out, they're still putting in retaining walls and stuff just because the ground isn't frozen. So, you know, maybe a cab model would be kind of nice, something that you could, hot day just like this thing, have both myself and one of my guys running with me in the air conditioning, as opposed to, you know, both of us out shoveling. But that's kind of my thoughts. I'm just wondering if I could almost replace a second laborer by buying a mini excavator, and then maybe I could get some of my jobs done and, you know, have this big tractor, the 4052R, and my mini excavator on a job, and if that would end up replacing the need to have, you know, 3 guys on a job site instead of 2, you know, with some equipment. So, and I'm not sure what the dealer incentives are, or any, you know, the financing would be on one like that. You know, I figure 43 grand, I'm sure it's similar where I'd have that lower, especially trading in my 1025, I'd have a lower interest rate on it, so probably 0.9% or 1.9. So what, divide that by 60 months or 5 years, I don't remember exactly what they are, but divide that by 60 months, I'm paying $560 for my 1025. I'm sure I could probably end up getting into a mini excavator for right around maybe $700-800, you know. So I'm only paying roughly probably $200 more a month for a mini excavator. But shucks, I tell you what, I find that I really, you know, a tractor, they're phenomenal tools, but at the end of the day, 2 tractors does not really help me much. And again, if I've kind of taken away the need for having a smaller tractor because it doesn't rip up the grass, because again, bought a set of turf tires for $1,500, and now I don't have that problem. So it kind of, you know, why keep paying $560 a month for a unit that I don't even use, as opposed to paying $700-800, so a couple $100 a month more for a piece of equipment that potentially would be on every single job with me. So those are just some of my thoughts, you know, going in. The problem, I've got way too much time to myself and my thoughts right now, since there's not a whole lot else to do. So just kind of run through. I don't know if any of you guys are like that, but when it's just me, my thoughts, and I don't know, me, myself, and I, and my thoughts, sometimes I just overthink things, and I don't know. So yeah, I'm just curious. Let me know if you guys would. If you were in that situation, would you be getting rid of your 1025, or would you just keep both tractors and, you know, try and find more uses for the 1025? I just, you know, as myself, I know a lot of guys like hiring people, but I'm a guy where if I could just have one guy, you know, really running with me, one guy that I can train into more of a leadership role, one guy I can trust, you know, with everything. At that point, I would, you know, I enjoy doing the work. If I could have one guy, you know, even with this, he could, you know, I could have one employee take this tractor and, you know, hook onto the dump trailer, and for Pete's sakes, he could even have two you know, he could have this piece of equipment and a mini excavator and a dump trailer on every single job. So even for that, you know, it's almost like a one-man show. It kind of, you know, I've got a tractor that can pull it, just need to get trailer lights hooked up, and, you know, I guess I'd have to look. Maybe the drawbar on this isn't strong enough to haul that 5,200 pounds. I'll have to look at that, but I would at least assume that it would work. So yeah, all I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of trying to grade down this, you know, pull back some of this existing gravel that just got pushed here from them doing snow removal, and slowly but surely just pulling it back so I can use it back over in the parking lot. But of course the sun is starting to go down again, which I hope you guys will still be able to see what I'm doing, but we'll hurry it up a little bit. How about that? I'll just make a couple more passes pull away from here. But so yeah, I just want your opinion. You know, I want to use this channel to kind of spread my wings a little bit, talk to other people. But what would you guys do? Have you guys found that a mini excavator has been a great machine for you? You know, in my head, I just think that, you know, pairing a mini excavator with this tractor would just be a super nice combo. You know, they could both be on every job. Get a mini with a thumb, and, you know, I could easily pull out all kinds of bushes, do tear outs really easily. In my head, it just seems like it's like the perfect combo between this and that. So could be totally wrong though. You know, the other thing is I've got a bunch of friends who could definitely benefit from using a mini excavator, but the main thought I have is I'm hoping and I'm wondering if it would be something that I could purchase instead of, you know, hiring another laborer. Because even at $18 an hour, I believe my cost of labor, hold on, let me just think. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and I'm just going to pull, just going to kind of put I'm not going to use the edge of the bucket. I think I'm just going to use the back end of the bucket to try and fill in some of these ruts. So I think I'm going to start, and I'm going to go a little bit diagonal here. So let's turn around and do that. Oh man, right into the sun. Thank you. Maybe we'll go the other way. I don't know yet. But so anyway, so those are some of my thoughts. But yeah, the one thing that I'm just wondering about is, would a mini excavator end up, you know, kind of taking away the need for some labor, you know, because again, at $18 an hour, I think my true cost with workers' compensation and all that stuff, it ends up being close to 24 an hour, so that times a couple months, you know, I end up paying $30,000 for each employee that works for me, you know. And if I can kind of get some of that cost turned down, and again, even with less employees, you have a little bit less stress of them, you know, hoping that they'll show up to work every day and whatnot too. So figure for, what is that, 30 grand over a couple months of work, so what, it ends up being about $4,000 or $4,500 a month in labor versus $700 a month, you know. But then again, it's year round, so whatever 700 times 12 would be, 7 times 12 is, brain fart here, come on Alex, can't do math and grading, I guess. What was I saying? 7 times 12. Someone let me know in the comments. Whatever that number is, $700 a month times 12 months. You know, it's still a lot less than 30 grand. And so, you know, if I have a piece of machinery that doesn't, obviously I know the cliche, doesn't call in sick, doesn't complain, you know, I just almost wonder if that would be a better solution than hiring a whole nother guy. You know, especially since I'm putting equity into something as well. So let me know what your experiences are with that. I know my buddy, he thinks that I should get a mini excavator, but of course it also does cost a whole lot of money too. And I would be giving up my 1025R, which again, I think I've kind of figured I don't really need it, just being honest, but I think a mini excavator would be used more. But yeah, if any of you guys do run a landscaping business, just let me know. Do you guys have a mini excavator? Is it something you guys use a lot? Or maybe it's a skid steer. You know, I figure I don't need a skid steer by the tractor, but let me know. Maybe some of you guys think that I should have a skid steer instead. But anyway, enough blabbing about that. Just kind of going, and like I was saying, I'm just putting my bucket in float right now. I don't have a very heavy angle on it either. I'm just scraping everything back, kind of filling in some of those ruts right now. And as I get to the end, I'm not to the big bad area yet, but I'm kind of just taking as much gravel as I can from the top of over here on the smooth side while keeping it smooth, and I want to shift it over to the rut area. So I've got quite a bit of extra gravel over there now. It's just a matter of filling in those holes. So I'll go the other way. Right now the sun is just perfectly, you know, would hit an angle if I tried to go angle it like this. So figure I'll go one more time this way. That should give the sun enough time to kind of go down under that garage that it's peeking through right now, and then we'll go that way and kind of cross the checkerboard. So you know, I've gone this way, now we'll go this way and try to, again, just use it to fill in the ruts rather than continue to dig up a whole lot more. It's definitely not going to be perfect till next spring anyways, so. But yeah, tell you what, I'm getting bored. Like I said, you know, as much as obviously with pre-paste snow, the less I move snow, the more I keep, but at the same time, I really like moving snow. You know, it's kind of funny as you own these businesses and you get this equipment and whatnot, it becomes almost less of a business and more of a hobby. You know, it's you feel great about getting in the tractor or excavator, skid steer, whatever you have. It's just a great experience, you know. It's almost like, what's that? It's just very calming, very soothing. It's just like, I don't know, it's just very relaxing, so. What is going on here? Got a utility guy. Hopefully that doesn't mean I hit something. Guess we'll find out. look like he's, maybe he's, hold on, let me go talk to this guy here quick. Well, that's fun stuff. I believe they tried to, yes, I see. Okay, so obviously that, boy, I was kind of nervous there, but it's the utility guy. He was just dropping off my bill. I haven't gotten yet to put in my mailbox up, so I guess the postal office sent it back to the utility department, so he was just going to tape it on my door. But anyway, so I guess I got to get that post or that mailbox up so that doesn't happen again. I was kind of worried. I was thinking, oh gosh, am I going to get my utilities? You know, it's my first month in this shop here, so just kind of getting everything situated, and bill wasn't too bad, about $100 for the month of November, so it's not too bad at all. I figured it'd be about 150, so yeah, I finally moved out of storage units, and I got this place that I have. It has an office front, it has a bathroom, it's heated by gas, so it's not crazy with electric prices. It's got a loading dock on the back. I can park all of my equipment in the back as well, so I'm super happy. I moved out from, I was working on a 2 10 by 20 storage units, 2 40 by 10 outside lots, and my garage and my yard, and so to get everything just put into one place has been so nice, and to keep my equipment out of the elements and whatnot too. It just hurt me every time we got a little bit of rain, or we were supposed to get a good storm. I hated the thought of my tractor sitting outside potentially being hailed on. So now with the ability to get everything put inside, it just is nice. Highly recommend it. I'm not paying a whole lot. I'm paying about, after doing all this, it's like $650 a month or something plus utilities. So I would recommend to anybody to get into a contractor shop if you can afford it. My productivity has gone through the roof. I'm not sitting at home writing up bills anymore. I've got an office front where I can do all that. So just overall, my business has just benefited huge. Even in just 1 month, I'm so much more productive in mainly that office work that, again, I just hated doing it at home. It's the last thing you're wanting to think about when you're at home after a long day at work. And so if you're anything like me, I just kind of kept putting it off. Now after working, I can come here, get all my billing, get everything done, leave my business phone here, and go home and just enjoy my night. So this has been a huge plus for me. Yeah, this is already looking a lot better. It's crazy. At 22 years old, I never thought that I would find joy from grading. Well, I guess the camera got a little bit too hot for its own liking, so it shut off on me. So I got about 10 minutes worth of work done, but as you can see, the sun went down over that garage now, so you can see a little bit better, and so can I. I'm just still doing the same thing. I'm just kind of taking the bucket a little bit lighter and a little less of an angle, putting it in float mode, and just dragging back to fill in some of those holes, those ruts. Nothing super fancy at all, but it's doing a good job. Just gonna go up here, do a little bit more up here, and then turn around and get that main entryway, the worst part done, I guess. Let's see. There we go. Alrighty, let's get this entryway graded out. Make sure I'm not going to run in any cars. I'm going to back up here. bucket, and we're just gonna go over it a couple times here and see if this will do a good enough job filling in some of those spots. Get her out of high range, put it back into B, mid-range. Like that. Again, we're just going to go over it a couple times. Do the main pass, and then we'll come over and do kind of final grading passes after that. Seems to be doing okay. Look at that, filling that hole nicely too. Kind of getting to the main bend spot, so. Slow. Really want to let that rock find its spot. Section a couple more times. Some of that down. And I just want to pull a little bit from over here. And after that, go over it maybe one, maybe two more times, and then I think we're going to call this project done. We'll go out, check it out, and see how she looks. What I want to do is I don't want to turn around and we'll back into the road a couple of times on my beacon light so people kind of know that I'm working in the right of way. That's what I want to do. I just want to drag a couple more buckets like that, and then we'll do a couple more up there, pull them back that way, and then I think that should be pretty well graded out. So it looks like even those ruts, there is a pretty big slope there, but in terms of ruts, it's way better. I wish that I got a picture or a video of what it looked like before I even started grading, because it was just terrible. This is a night and day difference of what it was here. It's just like going on the surface of the moon. Even over there taking, got a person, come on, a little quicker. And there we go. One more swipe here before I turn around and finish it up. I'll just have to leave that mess the way it is for right now. Probably end up taking my mini X, or not mini, my 1025R and kind of straightening some of that stuff out. But we're just going to turn around here quick and go over everything one more time. We will call her done. Yeah, that's doing nice. This is so much better than what it was before. You know, especially since all I've had is the bucket. A little bit limited as to how good I can do, but I can assure you that this looks a lot better than it did before. It feels a lot better too. Still a couple spots that I'll have to add more gravel to next year, but again, for at least going into the winter, this is 10 times better than the frozen jungle gym of craters. So I'm definitely happy. I hope my landlord will be happy by this. Pretty good. Let me just make sure. Take out some of these larger ridges here. I want to do this without disturbing too much ground that I'm going to have to fix. The camera's still recording. Smooth that out there. I just want to go take a peek at how it looks. Let's go take a look. There we go. Oh. Yeah, down here it's already 10 times better. Again, still will have to be driven on and stuff will have to be moved around, a couple ridges here and there, but that's about, you know, with the edge of the bucket, that's about as good as I can do. Let's take some of this out. Yeah. Definitely glad that I have this cutting edge. I'll have to replace it. You can see I've worn through a pretty good chunk of it, so yeah, looks good. Here's the Norman on the back as well. No, I haven't really showed anybody that. Just have my snowplow shovel on there, tied down with straps, and there we go. So that should call this job complete for 2023, and now it's just a matter of waiting till 2024 in the spring when I can have some better equipment to use. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found this video enjoyable, and if you want, check out any of my other videos. I'm posting them. I'm trying to post every Sunday and every Wednesday. So stay tuned and look out for those videos. But anyway, thank you for watching David's Outdoors. I'd love it if you could drop a like and maybe even subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.